What it is, what it do, cyber world, it is your girl, the one, the only Ash said it. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. I have got a special guest with me, all right? This is the one and only DJ Boo. How you doing, DJ Boo?
I'm doing well.
Awesome.
I'm actually calling from, right now we're in St. Paul.
Yeah, that is awesome. Awesome sauce. I know that, you're in between stuff, but I really appreciate you having time for the show. And looking forward to chatting with you about a few things.
Cool.
All right, so DJ Boo, I just finished talking with the wonderfully talented Jennifer Weber, and she had nothing but positivity when we brought your name up into the mix. She had nothing but just oozing, she said, this guy, he's like the best turntablist like ever on the planet, he just rocks it out, he's the best. So, I wanted to hear from the horse himself. How did you get started with music?
Well, I mean, like a lot of, I'm Filipino, like a lot of Asian families, they throw their kids into playing piano or what have you. And like that, I was the youngest of four, and my brother and my two sisters took piano, and I was dragged to those piano lessons. And I remember hating them. I wasn't even taking it at the time, but I hated sitting through them. And then when my mother asked me what I wanted to do, like if I wanted to join them, I said no. And she actually asked me what I wanted. She said, if you don't want to play piano, what do you want to play? I was like, I want to play the drums. So I started off as a drummer, and I played drums from grade school all the way through high school. And it was like, I had like pretty much general influences of like rock, like listening to Led Zeppelin, and Kiss, and all like Van Halen, all that stuff. But it was like probably in high school, more like junior high school, that like hip hop really was really kind of like I was listening more and more to it. Like it was coming up more and more. And the whole turntable stuff came from like my cousins, because here's a funny story. It's like this. My cousins would have these parties, or well, their parents would have these parties, these family parties, and they would invite us over. And when we go there, it was out in New Jersey, and we would go over there. And I remember the first time. This is my first time ever seeing someone work the turntables. And it was my cousin. And when we got there, my aunt and uncle, we greeted my aunt and uncle, and they were like, "Oh, your cousins are downstairs with their friends." And so it was it was a basement party. So all the adults were on the main floor doing whatever, just socializing, watching boxing, playing mahjong, all that stuff. So I'd go downstairs with my brother. I remember it was being dark, and there was lights flashing. There was all this music going on. I didn't know what was going on. I was just following my brother, who's a year older than me. And I was a little shadow, so I followed him into this one room. There was this one room, my cousin had all his friends were in there, and then there was there were people dancing, and then there was this one room with the turntables, and there's all these crates of records, and they were kind of cheering my cousin on about the next song they played. They're like, oh, it's my jam, blah blah blah. It's playing, playing music, and I remember watching my cousin was kind of like DJ, and the first thing I noticed was the way he was handling the records, because I have older sisters, and they had their own little record collection of Chicago and Donna Summer and whatever, they had their collection of 80s 45s, and I remember they were very strict about how to handle records. So you always had to handle the records by the edge. Never put your fingers on the grooves, because it dirties, kind of dirties the vinyl. So I remember watching my cousin work the vinyl. His hands, he's manhandling these records in my head. In my head, I'm I had to have been 9 or 10 years old, and I'm watching this happen in front of me, and I'm appalled in my mind. I'm appalled. I'm he doesn't know what he's doing. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. And I remember looking at his crates, and it's if you ever seen a DJ work with real vinyl, it's the sleeves are kind of off kilter, so you know exactly where that record's where you can put it back properly. But I see all these records kind of halfway out, some of them were laying on top of other records, and I continued to watch my cousin DJ, and I could see from the room was not well lit. There was a turntables, and I could see off the reflection off the vinyl. I could see the grease marks from his fingers. I could see the fingerprints, and I remember being just like so enraged, like I was so incensed by this, and like I'm the only one in my head. This is like this is wrong, and then like in my head I had to say something. I felt compelled to say something to him. So I remember his name was Glenn. And I kind of like got his attention. He's like, "Hey, Glenn," and he's like kind of like stops what he's doing. And like looks at me. He's like, "Yeah, what's up, little man?" I'm like, and like I couldn't think of any I couldn't articulate it any other way.
Yeah.
And I said this to him. I'm like, "Your records are dirty." And like in my head, I'm like, I'm doing him a favor. I'm teaching this guy a lesson of how to properly handle his records. And I'm thinking, I'm doing right. I'm doing right by this guy. I've done my good deeds of the day. I've taught him a lesson. He didn't say a word to me. The only thing he did to me, he kind of grimaced a little bit, and then he stuck the middle finger right in my face, like right in my face. That's all he said. And I remember thinking in my head, I'm like, why'd you do that? I'm trying to help you. Trying to help you. You don't want to take my advice. And I remember that story always crosses my mind. I remember I was DJing somewhere in the city for like an album opening for Def Jux. There was this underground record label in New York called Def Jux, and I remember they hired me to like DJ this album opening, their album, one of their artist's album release. It was like a small like kind of bar, and I was DJing. And I remember like I was using it was still before digital, like going digital, what have you. So like I had Kool G Rap, Jungle Boogie. Playing on one side, right? And it was the album. It was like it was the whole album. Right. And I had another copy, because I was going to do some doubles. I was going to do some, kind of like check out the mix. And like I had a double. I had double the record under my armpit to put it on. And I remember kind of like and the record fell, and I was stepping forward at the same time, and the record slipped. And I stepped on it. I remember thinking in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, that's like my 9-year-old self would be killing himself if he saw what just happened. Like I always kind of refer to that because I was like, oh my God, I was a little snob. I was like now I'm the guy who's ruining the records. But it's like I kind of take it as like, I don't know, that old kind of that story was, I think, the Velveteen Rabbit, and it's like at the end of the story, the rabbit is all messed up, but it's like it's because the kid loved to play with it. He loved that toy so much, and like I kind of see it that way. Like you could always kind of, especially when it came to vinyl, you could always tell what DJs like to play. Like if you heard that hiss in there. Because it was like wear and tear. It's like they really like playing that one song. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, like I've been DJing since probably like my brother got me into it. My brother and my cousin got me into it, and my brother started, and I kind of like we had a little DJ crew in Long Island, and I'm the only one who kind of like kept up with it. Everyone kind of like went on their own ways, and so it's like I was there from like the vinyl stages, and then like when it went digital, especially like the vinyl emulation with like programs like, I mean, I think the first one was like Final Scratch, and then Scratch Live. Like I at one point, like I was doing demos for them, helping demo some of this new technology, and but yeah, like I've been, and the way I ended up here is like linking up with Jen Weber, and she has like this she has a dance company in New York called Decadence Theater, and I actually was filling in for another DJ. One of their DJs, for whatever reason, like flaked out on a gig, and I happened to know one of the dancers. I worked with one of the dancers on another project, and I remember her calling me like out of the blue, and she was just like, "Are you free these dates?" It was for like the Fringe Festival, and they needed someone to perform while they did their piece, and I was like, "Well, yeah, sure." And Jim liked me so much. She was like, I remember like when the gig was up, I was like, yeah, it was cool. It was, like it was like maybe my second or third time doing theater like that. Like I've done like hip hop theater before. Like there was another piece I did which was called A Rhyme Deferred. It was almost like this kind of like hip hop take on like Cain and Abel,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jen, the piece I worked with Jen that I was filling in for was called man, When the Sky Breaks, and it was like kind of like the whole theme was like water and like weather, and but it was interesting like being in that theater setting. It's not so different from like working with an MC, but it's a little bit more. The scale is a little bit bigger because you're working with so many other people.
Yeah.
So but yeah, and then like after a couple of years of working with her, we ended up she was becoming like building a reputation of creating like hip hop movement to like classical music. I'm sure she mentioned she doing like some stuff with Stravinsky, Firebird, and then she did another piece called Four, which is based on Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and then this piece came about because of Mike Fiddleston at United Palace Theater in Washington Heights, and he came to her with this idea, and it was kind of like it was pretty much right up her alley. It was like it was kind of like a match made in heaven.
Definitely.
So, and like the thing that I like about this is like, growing up, like, I mean, I played drums and I did the whole marching band. I played in symphony and orchestra, and plus just listening piano recitals. Sometimes like classical music isn't really for, well, people don't think it's for everybody, and it's like there's a stuffiness to it.
Yeah.
So what I liked about projects like this, it kind of like, because to be quite honest, if you like, for me, like this project forced me to really listen to the Nutcracker. I mean, you hammer it every time around this time. You're hammered with this music, but you really don't listen to it. It's just like background. It's like, oh God, another sale at Macy's or whatever. Like it's like you're just hammered by it. But like I don't think it becomes so prevalent around this time. Like you don't really take the time to like really listen to the music, and it really forced me to listen to the music, and it's like to really hear how beautiful the music is. And I think projects like this, where they're combining of the past and the present, really helps reintroduce the music to a different audience. I know with the whole idea with Mike, with Mike Phillison's idea was like he wanted to do a project that would help the community, help Washington Heights, would help bring people to Washington Heights, to give them something to go to, but it was also a means to introduce classical forms to young people.
Right.
So like, because a lot of the music is still like the formula of the music hasn't really changed. It's just the way it's been, the way it's presented. And it's like, if you think about it, like back in the day, like a lot of this music was the pop music of yesteryear, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stuff that people will be humming in the background or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it's like it really is attractive on like kind of like multiple levels.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we've got some questions that came in from Facebook, DJ Boo.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is from Vanetta. Vanetta wants to know, where did the name come from?
Boo?
Boo.
To be like, I never really knew. Like my sister told me I was accident prone. So it was like it was booby. Like I have a booby on my head. So like it got shortened to Boo. Like I mean, I remember falling a lot and like kind of like skinning my knees, and I remember, falling in the like when I was growing up in Queens, I remember slipping on the front porch and smashing my chin. So like, I mean, I get some truth to that, So like it just stuck. Like it just really stuck. Like I almost didn't know my actual like real government name until like I was in school, like I was in preschool, and like they started calling me something else. They actually put like this little like plaque thing that had my full name on it, and it was like the letters were like it was like this like sandpaper material, trace your name, so you know how to write your name. And like I handed it back to them. I was like I didn't really know how to read yet or write, but I was just like, there's too many letters here. It's like I know. It's like there's no way that's one syllable. That's like That's a multi-syllabic word right there. And I handed it back to them. They were like, "No, you crazy kid, that's you." You know, so yeah, like it just stuck, and you know, like that like you know, even now, like pretty much close friends and family like know me as Boo.
Gotcha. All right, and the second half of this question is, what was your first set like? Do you remember your first set?
Like DJ set?
That's what I'm assuming that she means. No.
Okay, I mean, if that's the case, I don't remember my first set per se, because I remember like before I really got into DJing, it's like I learned how to do it because my brother thought I was bored. Like we would practice, or he would practice at a friend's place. It was like maybe like a 5-10 minute drive from our house, or some other part of Long Island, and I remember him practicing, and like I remember sitting on the couch, and like his back was to me, and my brother was, you know, I'm very close to my brother, and he's the type of guy who's just like, if he feels you're bored, he'll ask you, "Are you ready?" You know, like he was checking up on me. So he turned around and he was just like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey, you want to know what I'm doing?" And I was like, you know, just me being his little brother, I'd be like, "Okay." So he kind of showed me how to do it, and like I can't remember my first set. Like I just remember like filling in for him, like when he wanted to get a drink or like use the bathroom. But like the one thing I do remember was kind of like there was this other DJ named DJ Kool Marv, and like he used to work all these like the kind of like bar and lounge scene in Manhattan. And I don't remember how I linked up with him, but I ended up opening up for him on a number of occasions. And there was like this one lounge. It was called At Cafe, and it was on Arch Street. And I remember, you know, like he would have me open up, and then he would do like kind of like the main part of the night, and then he would like have to come on off and on throughout the night. And I remember at the end of the night, we're cleaning up, getting all the records or what have you, and you know, about to head out of the venue. This woman came up to me, and she was like, "Oh my God, you were so wonderful." And like in my head, like it stuck in my head, because it's like, you know, as a DJ, like all right, it's like the basic function of a DJ is to play music and to like, you know, to keep the crowd going. But like when someone says like you're wonderful, and it's like you're playing other people's music. It's not like I'm going up there and like shredding on a guitar, like and then or a keyboard, and I'm playing all this original music. I'm playing like, you know, I'm playing Mary J. Blige, and like you know Rick James or what have you, James Brown. Like I'm playing music that's already made. So when someone comes up to you and say you're wonderful for playing other people's music, like it kind of like said a lot to me, because it said to me like, wow, like what I was doing with other people's music really resonated with her. You know, she was very moved by what I was playing. You know, so like it really kind of stuck with me. You know, because I like doing it. Like I mean, even take away the turntable stuff, the scratching stuff, like all the tricks that you can do with the records, but just playing music. You know, like it can really affect people in a way that like you would never have imagined. You know, like you know, like a lot, you know, people refer to what the stuff that I do as turntablism or what have you, but like, you know, like a good DJ who just has a really great selection and can play records back to back to back, keep you enthralled throughout the whole night. That's a talent in itself.
It is.
You know,
I agree.
So like it really, like I remember that like really like hitting me hard. Like I remember listening to her saying that, and I was like, I was kind of really taken aback by that because I didn't expect it.
Right. Wow. So with your years of experience in the game, in music, and now theater, what advice would you offer to any up-and-coming DJs?
I mean, just like if you love doing it, keep at it, you know, and if you love to do it, like be open-minded to what you're doing, to this whole thing, because if you want to do radio, cool. You want to do radio, you want to be on stage and open up for acts, that's great too. You want to take it to another level and do the whole turntables thing and use the turntable as a musical instrument, that's great too. I think you have to be open-minded to what you can do with the turntables. It's like I don't think anyone expected to be like instead of an orchestra, you're going to see like a guy on a set of turntables up there. So it's like, I mean, I think the possibilities, is up to you. It's up to you how to find how far you want to go with it. Like me, like I kind of like I'll roll with it. Like like if it sounds like a kooky idea, I'm like, okay, let me see where it's gonna go. So it's like even like some of the projects that are coming up, that may be coming up. The possibility of working with an orchestra. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen stuff like this happen already. There's a DJ who worked with at I want to say at Lincoln Center. His name was Radar, and he worked with an orchestra at I want to say maybe Lincoln Center. But like the possibilities are there, like the stuff that you can do with the turntable, with hip hop. I think it's kind of limitless. Like we were doing our thing, and I remember the whole Hamilton phenomenon. Like I remember Lin-Manuel Miranda. I thought it was a joke because the first time I saw him do that was he kind of like debuted it at the White House. Like it was like maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking this was the illest thing I've ever seen. Like I took it as a lark. I didn't know he was actually because he mentioned he was working on it, but it seemed like he was just kind of. And I remember even showing it like to like my MC friends, like guys like rappers that I've worked with. I was like, yo, check this out, and like they were like, holy shit, this is crazy. This is incredible. It's like yeah, like because it was just him and the piano at the time, like doing this like President Obama, the first family had like this poetry night, and they had like they had a bunch of poets do their thing, and like they had him there, and he kind of like it seemed like all anecdote, but like to see it come from like this piano and vocalist to like this full blown. I haven't seen it yet because it's impossible to get tickets.
Yeah.
But to see it like become this full blown thing is incredible. It's really really incredible, and it's like not only that, it's just I happen to live where Lin-Manuel Brandon came up. He came from Washington Heights. It's like seeing someone do this, and then like the whole cast is like it's so diverse. Like they're so it's just an incredible thing. What can be done with it?
Definitely.
But
well,
yeah, like
oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, just like if you're gonna do this, like just be open minded. Don't stick to you don't have to be a hip hop DJ. That's strictly a hip hop DJ. It's strictly a EDM DJ. Like for me, like I think the greatest musicians, whether it's like a guy on the turntables or a guitar player or a drummer, are fans. Guys who are fans.
Right.
Guys who can refer to be like, I was like, I'm a drummer. Oh yeah, I love John Bonham, but like you know what? Buddy Rich is the man too, or Elvin Jones, or what have you, or Charlie Gertrude. Like they're like I love because I think some of the greatest players are also, or put it this way, the greatest people you refer to as masters are also the greatest students. You know what I mean? Like they're able to like see certain things, even if it's out of their their so-called genre. You'd be like, oh my god, that's incredible. Like for me, like I see other things, whether it's other musicians or other DJs, and I see something they do, and I'm just like, oh wow, that's cool. I wonder if I can incorporate that into what I do. Let me see if I could learn that also. So I always think some of the greatest musicians are also the greatest students as well. Like I was watching, a friend of mine sent me the link, and like I didn't know about this, and like I like I was a fan of the Ghetto Boys and Scarface. And what I did not know was that Scarface is a pretty accomplished guitar player. Like, there's a video of him. Like, I don't remember who was. I think it may have been. I think the interview was done by Noisy or someone else, some other music oriented news thing.
Right.
And like, he could play blues guitar. Like, not even like Lil Wayne. Like, I'm gonna play guitar, and like he looks awkward holding it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He doesn't have total complete mastery of the guitar, but he can like hit a couple chords.
Right.
Like, he could play. Like Scarface can play. Like, the other guy was going back and forth with him, and like he was making these references about blues and other guitar players, and like how he played. Like, he was younger, and how it influences his production. And it's just like, again, it's like, I love seeing that stuff because it's like, he's not in this box.
Yeah.
Or his influence is not like, I guess, the best way, incestual, where it's like, I only like hip hop and I'm only influenced by hip hop. I'm only rock and only influenced by rock. You know what I mean? So it's really incredible to see that. I mean, I think it also hip hop lends itself to that because it is such a the music and the dance and the art is influenced by so much. Yeah. It's influenced by things that you see around you. Things that you hear on the radio. So, but yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I am certainly looking forward to seeing you guys November the 27th in ATL, A-Town.
Yeah, I can't wait to be back.
Definitely.
Beautiful too.
It is. Now, I'm not gonna lie. We got a bit of a cold front that came in this week, kind of gut punched us. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to the show. DJ Boo, how can people get in contact with you if they want to work with you, if they want to follow you? Nowadays, social media, everybody's stalking everybody. How can they find you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm both on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. My Facebook name is Boo Jenkins. I picked Jenkins like at the time when Facebook came out. Like my cousin hit me up to Facebook, and it was like, for me, it was like another like social media thing that he wanted. Like, first it was like Friendster, and then there was like Asian Avenue, and like my cousin was always the first one to like, you got to join that so we can keep in touch. I was like, yeah, try a phone. But like, so like I was like, okay, I'll do it. And like, I remember when they asked me what my name was, I just put Boo Jenkins down, just to be a wise guy about it, and it just stuck. So they can find me as Boo Jenkins on Facebook. My tag on Twitter is Boo515, and Instagram, because I have a thing for taking pictures, is Boo the DJ Takes Pics on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, DJ Boo, I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for dropping some knowledge. I feel like, we were walking through, like, you're going to have to make a movie soon. This is a movie in the making. There's no way you can't not do a movie, DJ Boo.
Yeah.
But I definitely appreciate you coming through, and I appreciate everybody that tuned in, everybody that downloaded. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher, Player FM, all those great players in the game. Oh, again, you guys, this is the Ash Said It Daily Podcast. Go and check out ashsaidit.com. We got blog features all over the map. We got everybody under the sun, and I love you guys to pieces. Deuces.
Thanks for having me.